Hi Steve. In this little video I just want to show you how the cloud software. Now why do we call it the cloud software? Well, it sits obviously not on your computer, it sits on a computer that's located somewhere else and goes via the net to get to it. So it doesn't matter whether you're in Timbuktu, Turkey, Istanbul, New York or Perth, Western Australia. It doesn't matter where you are, as long as you've got internet access you can access this software. So, and the great thing of it, how many sessions you want to play. If I just move down a bit, you can see at the moment I've only got one session in play, an Australian racing one. But if I was to be using this one today, then tomorrow I was in Sydney doing something, I could still log into my online system, whether it be on my iPad, my iPhone, wherever, and that Australian racing system will still be there and will be ready to continue. All I have to do is click resume, and there we are. I'm back to exactly where I was, and I haven't filled in the results for the Geelong race because I was flying up to Sydney. So now I can just click on that and it updates it and go back to home, and that's done. So what I'll show you quickly is this is all covered in more in depth in the owner's manual. So if you do decide to get the software, you can learn a little bit more. Just say, for example, I've got my Australian racing one, but I also want to do football in the UK. So I just put in today's date, and then the race, the 20 race stake is how much am I going to put aside for these 20 races or 20 events, and I'm going to put 250. The commission, I am going to be using Betfair, and it's going to be on UK football, so I'll just put in 5%. And I don't have to worry about rounding because I can bet down to any odd amount I want. If I was using a bookie of that, I would have to go to maybe 50 cents or 50p. Don't worry, it says cents and dollars. It takes pence, pounds, whatever they are. So if you are with a bookie in that and you have to bet in pound units or 50p units, then you would select one of these two. But I'm using Betfair, so we just use that. So once I've set this session up, I can click submit and it will create a new session. That's how quick it is. It creates a new session here. And here we are, UK football, nice and fresh, ready to go. We can't change anything up here except the rounding if we wanted to. That's all locked in as to what it was when we set it up. So in this first description here, you can use the descriptions if you want to, and I suggest if you're using football to use the descriptions because it's easier like to come back to it. You may have 5 or 6 sessions going. It's easier to come back and know exactly which one it is that you have to put the result in. So for example, we've got Liverpool, just correct that, Liverpool in the over 2.5 market, and we've got it at 0.5. So we can do that, and now obviously the game's not going to start for another 6 hours. So what we can do is we can just get out of this and then come back when the game's finished. Over here you can see there's some side here, the stakes amount, capital retained and all that. That will not really make much sense to you until such time as you've started to get some winners. So we can click on the hide button and that just gets rid of that, and what it does is it makes it a bit easier, a bit bigger here to fill in. So if we fast forward the clock, say 6 hours, 9 hours, and we see Liverpool did in fact, Liverpool won by, the score was 3-1. So we put in, you can only put in the win-loss, you can only either put in the letter number 1 or 0. That's all you can put in. Okay, so it was a winning bet for us, and we can see now that the bets are starting to go up. If I just, for example, just take this out for a minute, just getting a bit ahead of myself. This is what the software tells us here. None of the green, this one here, the current P&L or the returns over here, we can't do anything with them. They're locked in because that's all the software does, all the calculations for them. But when we put on the Liverpool and the dividend that we could get, it tells us in the bet this column how much we are to bet. Now we're betting £50 on this match. Now you may say £50 is a lot on a £250 bank, and yes, it's 20% of the bank that we're betting in the very first event. But the thing is, it's the very first event is covering 960 combinations, so that's why. And this one here is covering 800 and around about 840, so that's why these bets are higher. Now don't worry if these couple of early bets lose, because the principle is we're looking at groups of 4, and it doesn't matter if the groups of 4 come later in the spreadsheet or right at the very beginning. It doesn't make any difference where they happen as long as you get them. And there's a chart above here which shows you, or below here, wherever I put the video, that shows you how many wins you have to get at that average price in order to make a profit. Okay, so the column here is the bet this is the amount we are betting, and this just tells us what event we're up to, and this is exactly where we are at this point in time. So at the moment we've put this money on Liverpool, so our profit and loss is minus 50. Okay, as I said, the game was over 2.5, and we'll see now that it was £42 the next bet. Now it's jumped to 61 because it's now starting to disperse the winnings and the capital through these other races. If I just go back here for a sec and put put nothing in there. If we have a look here, just have a look at the numbers here. So you'll see that when we have a winning bet, they all increase. Okay, so we go back to Liverpool, and you can see now they've all increased. Okay, this is working on groups of 4 wins. So if you've been reading the page, you'll know that we're trying to get 4 winners together, and the more winners we can get, the more combinations we can get. If we had 20 winners out of 20, we would have the 4,845 different winning combinations. Okay, so that's the ideal scenario, but of course it's not going to happen unless we're down at £1.04 or something like that in dividends. Okay, so we can see now, right as we finish the very first bet, we're £74 in profit on our £250 bank. Okay, so that's a great start. And if we scroll down here, we can see here is a graph which will keep us tracking nicely, hopefully. So we can see the red is the stake, the blue is the win, and this line here is our current profit and loss. So at the moment we're at 71.25 profit. Okay, and if we never won another race, we'd be down there where we lost our 250. Okay, so that is how it works. So it's really like paint by numbers. We get the selections that we think are going to win, and we put them in. We put them in here. We get the best price that we can, and then we wait for the result. Once the results come, we open the software again, and we put in either 0 or 1. That's as simple as that. You don't need to know all the calculations and how much goes on behind the scenes. You only need to read this column here, how much to bet, and follow the lines. The only columns in here you can access is the description, which is optional, but I suggest you use it so you can identify the bets when you come back. The dividend, which is the odds that you're getting, including not allowing for any commission, because the Betfair, the software here allows for the commission, and you just put 1 or 0 in here. That's it. That's how simple it is. And as I said, you can use it on your smartphone, your iPad, your Mac, your PC, wherever you are. You're in an internet cafe, you can log into the website, put in your login details, and all of these options will still be showing. So if we just go back to home and we have a look at my Australian racing that we first started up, when you first open it again, you can have as many sessions running down here as you want. We just click resume to go back to the Australian racing. If we scroll all the way down there, we can see our graph, and here's our graph tracking on the Australian racing. And we can see here's our break-even line. We've had 6 bets. we never won another bet, we would lose 231. But currently we're sitting here at a profit of 728. Okay, so you can bail at any time you want, but I suggest you try and stick the whole 20, because if you're picking right, and then to get through the 20 races or the 20 events, that's the optimum amount that we want to do, and that is how we turbocharge our returns on very low dividends. You can use place betting, you can use Dutching, and I'll do another video explaining how to do Dutching. You can Dutch 3 horses and then work out the dividend and put the dividend in here and go for win or loss. Okay, so thanks for watching this. I hope that you like it. The spreadsheet has sold extremely well, and I expect that our special price on the racing staking will not be around for too long. So, on behalf of Michael, myself, Steve, thanks for watching this video, and I hope that you get excited as we are to bring you Race Staking Attack, a whole new way of really turbocharging your returns on the selections that you work so hard to make. Thank you.